what should you focus on next? So I've had several clients in the last couple weeks ask me this question, like, what should I focus on next? I feel like I have so many things to do. One of them said yesterday, I feel like I'm so busy all the time, but I'm not making the progress that I want to make. I don't know what I need to do instead because what I'm doing is not necessarily working. The reason I think that a lot of people don't see results is that you are missing a key part of your strategy. Or maybe you're not missing a key part of the strategy, but you're not showing up and consistently doing all pieces of the strategy like consistently over time. We want to, one, make sure that you have a solid strategy in place that has all of the pieces covered. And then second, make sure that you are consistently spending time doing those things. We want to take very intentional, aligned action. How do you let go of this idea that you need it all done immediately? In our heads, it all works out really, really great. And we're like, okay, starting tomorrow or starting Monday or starting next week or next month or whatever, we're going to be doing all the things and everything's going to be wonderful, right? And then the time comes and you actually haven't implemented the whole piece, the whole strategy and all the habits you need to sustain that over time. And so then things fall through the cracks. You get really busy and you stop doing all the things you said you were going to do. And then what do? You start giving yourself a really hard time. You start thinking about how you failed and how you need to be doing more and doing better. And it just like spirals, right? And the only thing that makes you feel better is creating another perfectionist plan that like doesn't work. To get out of this spiral, what we want to do is identify like what are the key things that you either need to implement that you don't have or that you need to be doing more consistently and focusing on how can you create more time for that in your calendar. So at a high level, I always say a successful business is a boring one. And what I mean is that we get really good at just figuring out exactly the offers that people want to buy from us, how to consistently bring in leads for those offers, how to sell those leads, and then how to deliver those offers to those clients, right? Once you get good at those things, you just do them over and over and over again, and your business becomes kind of boring, right? Not in a bad way, it just becomes easy, and then you can focus more on growing it and creating new things. When people ask me, to go back to what I said at the beginning, right? When people ask me, what should I focus on next? My answer is, you tell me, right? You tell me what your next priority is. You tell me, like, what is the long-term vision that you have? And then what are the next steps that you want to take in order to get you there? And so instead of thinking about like, I want to do all of the things right now, because we know that that's not possible to achieve, what are the next 2 to 3 things that you can take very intentional action on? And so instead of feeling like you're busy and doing all the things and doing all the stuff you see people on Instagram doing or your friends doing in her business or whatever, right? You get super clear on exactly what the next like 2 to 3 steps you need to take. And that is your focus. And then what we can do from there is look at your calendar and look at the way you're spending your time and say, I'm working 40, 50, 60 hours a week all the time, and I'm not seeing the results that I want to see. And so how do you add in more? Like, let's say you need to implement a new marketing strategy. And you're like, Sarah, I'm already working 60 hours a week. How do I find the time to do this? And my answer is, if you're working 40, 50, 60 hours a week and you don't have time to do CEO projects like that, and you're not making the money you want to work, then you're spending your time on something that you don't need to be spending your time on. And so we can go through when we have like the next handful of action items you want to focus on, look at your calendar and say, what am I spending time on that's not these things? And how do I either deprioritize those things, delegate them to somebody else, or just eliminate them entirely? I have had clients recently where we have eliminated social media, posting on social media consistently, because that's not where their ideal clients find them. I've had clients who have let go of entire offers and who have let go of a huge swath of their clients because these were not the offers that were the profitable ones that were growing their businesses. And these are really hard things to do. Like, it can be scary to think about letting go of the busy work and letting go of the things that aren't serving you. But ultimately, those are the choices we have to make to get really good at being able to implement all of the pieces of the strategy that you need in order to grow your business and stay profitable, and also not be working 40, 50, 60 hours a week for not enough of a paycheck. Hopefully this was helpful. If you have anything that is coming up for you after listening to this, if you're watching the replay, leave me a comment on here. Ask a question. I'll answer in the comments. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.